Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the privacy edition. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it might be a little bit later if we are experiencing technical difficulties like we were today. But with that, let's go ahead and jump on into the privacy, and then we have an affiliate, and then we have our security news. So first up, Apple already scans iCloud Mail for CSAM, but not iCloud Photos. So this is the CSAM. Apple thought that they were coming out with a really good, amazing thing. Like, wow, guys, look at how much we are protecting people with the CSAM scanning, and like everybody came out against them. It was actually quite encouraging to see the number of people that came out against Apple for this nonsense. Well, during some discussions about it, it turns out that their chief of security unveiled that Apple has already been doing this for email. So if you're using Apple's email, they probably have already told the police about you. If you haven't been rounded up yet and you're engaging in such content, then you're just on the list. They're watching you right now. They're watching and waiting. I've confirmed that iCloud Mail for CSAM scanning has been going on since 2019. It has not been on iCloud Photos or iCloud Backup. Clarification followed me querying a rather odd statement by the company's anti-fraud chief that Apple was, quote, the greatest platform for distributing CP. Not exactly something you would like your people to say. Does he speak from personal experience, I'm wondering? That immediately raised a question. If the company wasn't scanning iCloud Photos, how could it know this? Well, because they're scanning other stuff, apparently. But anyway, with that, they continue on. A couple other clues. Apple had been doing some scanning of CSAM for some reason. An archive version of Apple's child safety page said this, emphasis is theirs. This is 9 to 5 Mac. Apple is dedicated to protecting children throughout our ecosystem. Whatever products are used, we continue to support innovation in this space. We have developed robust protections at all levels of our software platform and throughout our supply chain. As part of this commitment, Apple uses image matching technology to help find and report child exploitation. Much like spam filters in email, our systems use electronic signatures to find suspected child exploitation. We validate each match with individual reviews. Accounts with exploitation content violate our terms of service, and any accounts we find this material will be disabled. Additionally, they said something similar in January 2020. Jane Horaff, Apple's chief privacy officer, said at Tech Conference that companies use screening technology to look for illegal images. The company said it disables accounts if Apple finds evidence of such material, although it does not specify how it discovers it. So apparently Apple's been doing this for quite some time now, just something to keep in mind. And this is yet another reason why, yeah, Apple may not be a super privacy-related place like some people say it is. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Next, Google. Google is dismantling Google Health. They're not saying, well, let's abandon collecting health data on people. Of course not. They're just realizing not a whole lot of people are going into, quote, Google Health as a whole unified front. But what they are doing is taking all these Google Health implementations and putting them in a variety of different applications throughout the rest of their ecosystem. In other words, if you don't want to use Google Health, it doesn't matter, because all of these Google Health aspects and elements will be forced upon you by the various different apps that you are using. So remember, of course, they have Fitbit, and they have a number of other applications that they do will collect various health data. It's just now, instead of being in one unified location, it is now scattered about for you. How exciting is that? And we've rebranded our work across Google, Search Cloud, YouTube, Fitbit. We have decided to move some Google Health teams closer to product areas to help with execution while nurturing some early stages products and research efforts. Translation is we're going to put all of these health collecting stuff in more and more different apps that we have. And so there you have it, guys. Google Health data is starting to becoming implemented all throughout everything that you're doing. How exciting. Well, a Government Accountability Office report says that facial recognition technology is used by the vast majority of government agencies here. So Here are the really fun facts. Recent advancements in facial recognition technology, which we will call FRT, has increased its accuracy and its usage. Our earlier work has included examinations of its use in federal law enforcement at ports of entry and in commercial settings. For this report, we surveyed 24 federal agencies about their use of the technology. 16 reported using it for digital access or cybersecurity, such as allowing employees to unlock agency smartphones. So that could be something as simple as having a government-issued iPhone where Face ID is on. So that's not super crazy, but and this is of employees, not of the general public. So that's good. You can not give up your data by not working for the federal government. We need a smaller government anyway. 6 agencies reported using it to generate leads in criminal investigations. 5 reported using it for physical security, such as controlling access to building or facilities. That is also likely employees. And 10 of the agencies said that they planned to expand the use of it. So there we have a lot of different government agencies are using facial recognition technology. In response to GAO's survey about facial recognition technology activities in fiscal year 2020, 18 of the 24 surveyed reported using FRT systems for one or more purposes. Digital access or cybersecurity, domestic law enforcement, that would be police, that would be public ones. That's the one we have the biggest concerns about because these are public-facing circumstances and situations. And those are the areas where we have the biggest problem. Physical security, this would be access to individual buildings. So again, employees, as long as they're not scooping up, individual people data, then that's fine. 10 agencies reported to FRT-related research and development. For example, agencies reported researching FRTs for ability to identify individuals wearing masks during the koofiness and to detect image manipulation. Well, that's neat. Let's make sure people are wearing your koofy catchers. That's all we need, despite, never mind, we're not going to go there. Furthermore, 10 agencies report plans to expand their use of FRT through the fiscal year of 2023. For example, an agency plans to pilot use of FRT to automate the identity verification at airports for travelers. Yay! Let's go ahead and put facial recognition software run by the government inside of airports. Guys, this is why I like to drive. Digital access. We're not going to read through all that. So why they did the study? It's a type of biometric technology, mimics how people identify or verify others by examining their faces. Recent advancements have increased the accuracy of automated FRT, resulting in increased use across a range of applications. As it continues to expand, it's become increasingly important. There's nothing in here about the problems with it, like the fact that facial recognition tends to not work on, black people. That's kind of problematic. So something to just kind of keep in mind there. So, as more and more governments expand to it, expect to hear more heralding cries of systemic racism throughout the world. Well, our feature story here was a fascinating read. Now that machines can learn, can they unlearn? Let me give you the final answer. Nope. Nope. You can pretend it unlearns, but, people are always making backup copies. If you dig through my backup archives of all my client files, I'm sure you can find information for anybody and everybody in there, unless I'm going through actively and deleting all those things, which, is not necessarily high on my list of priorities. And why would I necessarily? That's the whole point of backups. They're offline. They're not going to be hacked or breached, but nevertheless, we do have those things laying around in backup drives and files. Now, here researchers see if they can remove sensitive data without retraining AI from scratch. The idea is, oh crap, our AI has just collected way more information than it should have collected, and with so much extra information being collected, the question would happen to be, can you get rid of some of this data? In other words, can you make it better, more secure, more private? And some people have tried this, and they found in some of the experiments, they found that when data is removed, it makes the entire system completely unstable. Basically, you can think of it as corrupting small portions of your hard drive. Anything else referencing that file is just going to crash out. And that's the type of thing that we start to see happening. And so with that, a number of different universities have began the ability here of starting to look into this kind of stuff. And so with that being done, they've kind of found that, yeah, some cases maybe, some cases maybe not. But this is probably a question better asked before we start going down this pathway. But we're already moving on down this pathway, and this in and of itself is a dangerous thing. This is why you have to be extraordinarily careful about the type of data that you are giving up and the amount of things people are allowed to see. Well, if you'd like to help out the channel, we do have affiliates. Today we are highlighting ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN allows you to connect up to 5 devices simultaneously, smartphones, computers, even routers covering your whole house. This is going to protect your internet from seeing what other people are doing. In my personal case, I'm not going to tell you, oh my God, this is the best thing you ever need to do. What I would use something like ExpressVPN for is if you find yourself in coffee shops like I might, ExpressVPN is going to help you secure your network, secure your data. You can also hop over geofences and basically change the city and location you're coming from. These are very good reasons to run something like ExpressVPN. TLM.li/EV if you'd like to have a look at the affiliate. Well, now let's have a look at some security news. So, this is exciting. I warned you guys about contact tracing applications. Oh, they're perfectly secure. They don't leak anything. Well, 38 million records were exposed online, which includes contact tracing information. This is an S3 colander this time. It is actually from Azure. So misconfigured Power Apps from Microsoft led to the exposure. Was it 38 million records spread over several apps? More than 1,000 web apps mistakenly exposed 38 million records on the open internet, including a number of data from the Koofy contact tracing platforms, Fauci Ouchie signups, job application portals, and the employee databases. Data include a range of sensitive information for people's phone numbers, home addresses, social security numbers, and COVID-19 Fauci Ouchie status. Isn't that great, guys? Why are you feeding this information into apps, guys? Really? Data was exposed to Microsoft's Power App portal service development platform. Makes it easy to create web or mobile apps for external use. Read Script Kiddie for apps. Great. If you need to spin up a Fauci Ouchie appointments, sign up site quickly during, say, a pandemic, Power Apps portals can generate both the public-facing site and the data management backend. Apparently not well, though. Warning, not well. Beginning in May, researchers from security firm UpGuard began investigating a large number of Power App portals that publicly exposed data that should have been private, including some Power Apps that Microsoft made for its own purposes. So, yeah, when Microsoft can't even secure its cloud servers, there's a problem. None of the data is known to have been compromised, but the finding is still significant. It reveals an oversight in the design of Power App portals that has since been fixed. Just another warning, guys. Don't put sensitive stuff on apps. See these things? Use them for phones. Well, you probably don't. That's so dark. There you go. See these things? Use them as phones. Don't use them as your life. Use them as phones. Basic contact, nothing else. Well, a hacker claims responsibility for T-Mobile breach. He says the carrier has awful security. This hacker says that he got in by finding a backdoor in an insecure router that was at one of the data centers, and using that, he was able to compromise the data centers. He did provide a lot of evidence that suggests it was him, and then he went ahead to talk about how he was kidnapped by the FBI and is being hidden against his will in psycho wards. So, take it at what you want. Maybe a better article for Sillyville. I don't know. He claims responsibility, but he does, and he had some information that was previously unreleased that was known. But then, this is the part where it gets weird. Contact U.S. relative last year claiming by telephone he was a computer expert who had been kidnapped and taken to a hospital against his will. He said he gushed about how he could do anything with a computer. Person said Telegram messages of the journal. Mr. Binns repeated similar claims. He said he wanted to draw attention to his perceived persecution by the U.S. government authorities. He described an alleged infant which claims he was abducted in Germany and put into a fake mental hospital. So, okay, maybe he did breach T-Mobile. Maybe he's just crazy. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Sounds legit. Well, with iPhones now scanning all of your content for bad material, all the way up through iOS 14, a zero-click iMessage Pegasus attack. If you'll remember Pegasus, this is the software vulnerability that was released by an Israeli company. Mostly it was used to completely backdoor somebody's phone, and it was found on several different high-ranking governors and journals and government employees, journalists, and things like that devices. This allows a full backdoor, meaning you could put files onto somebody's phone. So, and this doesn't require anything. It's just 0 day. Target them, you get it. You now have access to their phone. Put some CSAM on there, and then the police will come and haul them away. Great, guys! Don't use Apple products. Start moving away from Apple. If you're on Apple, start moving away from them. Get new devices, start shifting that direction, sell off all your Apple devices to the other people who think they have nothing more to hide, because if you're on the list of somebody that wants to target you with Pegasus, they have a very easy way to throw you in jail now. Yay! So not much else here. These are the countries that the 0 day exploits have been found on iOS 14. And, this is back between June 20 and February 21. So there you have it, guys. There you have it. And your iCloud stuff is not completely safe either, because a Le Punte man steals 620,000 iCloud photos in a plot to find images of naked ladies. What is this? The Fappening 2.0? Apparently. Los Angeles County man broke into thousands of Apple iCloud accounts and collected more than 62,000 private photos and videos in a plot to steal and share images of nude young women, federal authorities say. I wonder what would happen if he gets some tranny. Oh boy! Whoa, I don't want to see that! How Chi, 40, of La Puente, has agreed to plead guilty to 4 felonies, including conspiracy to gain unauthorized access to a computer. Court records show Chi, who goes by David, admitted he impersonated Apple customer support staff in emails that tricked unsuspecting victims into providing their Apple IDs and passwords. Okay, so a couple things to say. This is a social engineering hack, so this isn't something necessarily dealing with the vulnerability of your device, but they are impersonating Apple employees. Round 2, guys, Apple employees are never going to ask for your logins. They really can't. When they start asking for logins, you know that they are the ones that are doing bad stuff. He gained unauthorized access to photos and videos of at least 306 victims across the nation, most of them young women. He acknowledged in his plea agreement with federal prosecutors in Florida. He said he hacked into the accounts of 200 victims at the request of people he met online using the moniker iCloud Ripper for you. Original. He marketed himself as capable of breaking into iCloud accounts to steal photos and videos. He admitted in court papers. He acknowledged court papers that he and his unnamed co-conspirators used a foreign encrypted email service to communicate with each other anonymously. When they came across the photos and videos stored in a victim's iCloud account, they called them wins, which they collected and shared with one another. I don't even know who else was involved, he said in a brief phone conversation. So, it's going to ruin my life. Oh, my Lord. So just be warned, guys. Stuff like this happens a lot. Well, if you'd like to help support the channel, then we do have a Subscribe Star page, subscribestar.com/SwitchedToLinux. You can jump on. We have a number of different subscriber tiers if you want to help out, and let us know on over there. So with that, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching this video from SwitchedToLinux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.